Are you a US citizen who wants to pay less in tax and spend more time traveling? Well, if so, keep watching. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Somewhat Scholarly. My name is Alan Hibbert, and today I'm going to show you how to pay zero taxes in the United States while traveling the world. What we're talking about here today is all going to be possible because of the FEIE, that's the Foreign Earned Income Exclusion. And before I explain exactly what that is and how you can use it to your benefit, let's address a very basic question of why do we even want to do this, right? Why do we even want to pay zero taxes? After all, isn't it sort of our patriotic duty? Isn't it sort of noble to pay taxes? I would say it's not quite that simple. Keep in mind that America was founded on the basic premise that a government should play a very small role in a citizen's life, and people shouldn't really be paying taxes that they don't consent to paying. And if the government of England basically followed those rules, there wouldn't really be an America to speak of. So I don't think paying taxes is necessarily patriotic. I think kind of the opposite. I think the most patriotic thing you can do as a citizen of the United States is understand the principles on which this country was founded and make sure that the government doesn't violate those principles. And as I look around in 2021 and see what the federal government is doing, it seems like we're straying pretty far from the intention of the Constitution. So when we ask the question, why bother trying to pay zero taxes? The answer is freedom. The answer isn't greed or selfishness, it's actually freedom. It's freedom to do the things that we believe in, and it's freedom from the things we don't believe in. So freedom to do the things we believe in would be like freedom to travel, to work, to earn, to play, to spend, to save, to invest, to donate, however you want. And I think that's how it should be. And freedom from refers to freedom from the things you don't believe in, freedom from the things you think are ethically wrong, whether it's theft or extortion or oppression of any kind, whether it's religious or political or economic or social oppression. The motivation here is freedom from those things that you don't believe in. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, how does the FEIE actually work? Well, it's pretty simple. The first $108,700 you make are exempt from taxes. But this isn't just for everybody, this is for people traveling abroad. Specifically, you have to pass the physical presence test, the PPT. And the requirement there is that your feet are on foreign soil for 330 days out of the year. Now, these days don't have to be consecutive and they don't all have to be in the same country. And we're going to come back to that in just a second. Another requirement is that the income you get is foreign sourced, meaning it comes from a foreign source, not a US company or a US client. And finally, this exemption only applies to earned income, meaning income that you earn from your time and labor, not necessarily income you're getting from investments like capital gains or anything like that. So basically, if you're a US citizen and you're earning income from a foreign source and you're outside the US for 11 out of 12 months a year, you don't have to pay taxes on your first $108,000 you earn. So that sounds great, but it's actually not going to help me personally lower my taxes to 0%, and I'll tell you why right now. Because I personally am an independent contractor, the government charges me a self-employment tax of 15.3%. Now, this has nothing to do with the FEIE. However, these three bullet points at the bottom can all be solved with one simple, rather exotic step. I can create a company in the Cayman Islands and then hire myself as an employee of that company. And that will take care of all three bullet points we have at the bottom. All my income would be coming from a foreign source because it's not a US source. It'd be the Cayman Islands. It also would be earned income because I'd be an employee of that company. And finally, I wouldn't have to pay the self-employment tax because, again, I'm an employee of a company. And the reason we choose the Cayman Islands is because the Cayman Islands has a 0% business tax. So that's all well and good so far, but we do have a few other concerns we have to deal with. So first of all, travel bans. So this whole strategy is predicated on the ability to travel the world for 11 out of 12 months of the year. And if there are bans on travel, you're not going to be able to do that. One way to alleviate this concern is with second passports or second citizenships. So if US citizens are banned from traveling to a certain country and you want to get to that country, you can't go unless you have a second passport. And of course, you would need to choose a passport from a country that's not on the blacklist. If you want to know 4 main ways to get a second citizenship, watch this video up here. Another major concern with this strategy is foreign taxes. So if you stay in another country for 11 months out of the year, you're probably going to have to pay taxes in that country. But in many ways, that defeats the purpose of this strategy. So what do? Keep moving. Sounds rather simple, but this is actually a really good way to avoid paying taxes in foreign countries. So just like the US doesn't require you to pay taxes if you're there less than 35 days out of the year, a lot of foreign countries don't require you to pay taxes if you're there less than some other number of days. Very commonly, it's 183 days, which is half of a year. So if you want to avoid paying taxes in foreign countries, in a lot of cases, you just simply spend less than 6 months there and move on to another country, and then you have no tax obligation. So something you might consider is going to country A for 5.5 months, country B for 5.5 months. That's a total of 11 months, and then go back to the United States for 1 month. And that's how you spend your year. A third concern is capital gains tax. This strategy we're talking about here only applies to earned income, not capital gains. And this refers to buying and selling property, stocks, cryptocurrencies, or anything like that. So if you want to reduce your capital gains, you've got to do something else. And the solution here, for me anyways, could be to never sell. Never sell my Bitcoin. Okay, some of you guys may be saying, oh, this guy, he's a Bitcoin maximalist. He's in the cult. Okay, I get where you're coming from, but it's not my intention in this video to say that Bitcoin is the greatest thing since sliced bread and everyone should go all in on it and never sell, right? That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that no matter what type of asset you have, you could potentially never sell it and just take out loans against that collateral. For me personally, Bitcoin represents a majority of my assets, and it also represents the collateral I'm most likely to take a loan against. Now, I'm still thinking about this strategy, and I'm trying to decide if the numbers make sense for me and if the amount of risk involved is comfortable to me, so I haven't made a decision yet. But this is one possibility to avoid paying capital gains taxes. So guys, that's a little bit about how the FEIE could potentially help you as a US citizen pay zero taxes while traveling the world. But keep in mind, I'm a total amateur at this. And this is just a brainstorm that I've been thinking through. And I'm not an attorney, I'm not a tax specialist, and I kind of don't really know what I'm talking about. So before you do anything extreme and pack up and travel the world, I encourage you to talk to an expert. And one such expert is Andrew Henderson, the Nomad Capitalist. And it's his work, it's his book, his website, his videos that have really inspired me to think through these types of solutions for myself. So I've never met him, I've never worked with him, I've never spoken to him. And so he definitely doesn't know that I'm doing this, and he definitely wouldn't endorse my work, but I am happy to endorse his. From the hours I've spent watching his videos, I can say that he and I probably share a lot of the same values, and I'm very comfortable recommending that you check out his work and go from there. So guys, that's it for this video. I would love to know what you think. Am I crazy for wanting to do this? Are you interested in doing it for yourself? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.